stories or like bad date stories. So I wanted to share one of mine. So I'm gonna tell you the story of how I found out my boyfriend of 3 years was cheating on me through cupcakes. That's right, cupcakes. Allow me to explain. So it was his birthday, right? So I thought it would be cute if I went and got him one of those like cupcake cakes. You know how it's like a cake, but it's made of like a bunch of cupcakes. So I drive a half hour to his house and I buzz on the thing. He's not picking up his phone. So I'm like, okay, I'll buzz at the front door. And I buzz and he's like, what? And I'm like, oh, like, happy birthday, I have something for you. And he's like, I'll come down. I'm expecting him to like buzz me up, let me come up. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. He comes down, takes the cake, and I'm like, oh, like, do you want to like hang out? He's like, you know what, I'm just really tired. I just want to go to bed. So I'm like, okay, I drive my dumb ass another half hour home. So whatever, I drive home. The next day I go to work. And this is where things get interesting. Cupcake infidelities part 2. So I go to work and I'm talking to my coworker. I was working at a coffee shop at the time and I'm telling her about, you know, this blue cupcake cake that I got from my boyfriend, and he was acting really weird and he didn't let me come up on his birthday, blah, blah, blah. And you can see like the numbers just crunching through her head, and she's just kind of sitting there and she's like, oh, like, this makes sense. And I hear her and I'm like, what makes sense? So she proceeds to tell me that about 2 months ago, her roommate started dating this guy, but this guy had a girlfriend, but it was okay because they were in love and he wasn't in love with his girlfriend anymore and he was gonna break up with her. He just had to wait for the right time. She then goes, she was actually at his house last night and brought back with her half of a cake of blue cupcake. So not only did this guy take the cake I gave him and left me at the door, he brought it back up to his side chick. They split it, and then he let her take the rest home of my fucking cake. And that is how through cupcakes you can find out that your man ain't shit. All right, y'all asked for it. The conclusion to cupcake infidelities. So I wish I had some epic breakup with him story, but I was only 20 years old, therefore I was stupid. Sorry, 20-year-olds, but you'll realize. So when this was all going down, it was actually the same week that my dog died, and let me tell you, I was distraught. Like, I was crying every single day. I was not okay. So I invite him over and I bring up to him, you know, really meek because like I'm young and dumb. So then this guy avoids talking about it and diverts the topic by telling me that I've been too sad about my dog and that I'm really bumming him out and it's affecting his studies, and he breaks up with me. Needless to say, he starts openly dating this girl like instantly after. But karma is a sassy minx and I love that bitch. 3 months into them dating, she goes and cheats on him, and he crawls back to me. And this is where things get super creepy and extra stalkerish, and if you guys are interested to hear that, drop a like or a comment and I'll share that story. I'm back with more cupcake story. Sorry it took so long. I knew this one was going to take time, and I didn't have any, so here it is. So he was very popular in my college hometown. He kept taking courses so he didn't have to leave school. He was like the Van Wilder of our college, and because of that, like, he threw all the best parties. He was president of student union, so he kind of controlled everything. So if it wasn't bad enough that he broke up with me and cheated on me and started dating that girl, he also made the rest of that year of my final school year a living frickin' hell. He made sure that I couldn't get into the school pub. If I did get let in, that I would be cut off after one drink. People would see me out and text him about where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. It just got completely ridiculous. So for the rest of that particular school year, I just did my work. I ate lunch in my car. I worked and waited for the school year to be done. And then I moved up to my cottage for the summer. And then things got pretty good for me. You know, I moved to my cottage. I was away from all the bullshit and drama. Things were good. Part 5. So I shortened my work week to 2 days a week, so I was only commuting. So I was pretty much living entirely at my cottage, and it was really good. All my friends were up there. I'd started seeing this guy, nothing serious, but like I liked him and it was fun and I was finally happy. So now this is when we get to the part where he finds out that she cheated on him, and he has the audacity to just text me so nonchalantly as if I've just been sitting here like waiting for him to call me and go, hey, sorry, you were so right about so-and-so. I'm ready to talk to you now. And I'm just there thriving, being like, no. And I just completely ignore him. This guy was not used to being ignored, and he didn't like it. So this is where shit hits the fan. I'm not kidding, guys. My phone would be dead by 10 a.m. every single day because I would get voicemails ranging from like, where are you, blah, 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 to, sorry, baby, I didn't mean that. I hope you're having a good day, to him crying. And I would get like 30 text messages. I ignored everything. Part 6. So I'm ignoring absolutely everything. He's blowing up my phone nonstop. This was before phones released that feature that you could just block a phone call. This was back when, like, if you wanted to block a number, you had to make a police report, and the police had to block it for you, and most times they did, and it just like wasn't even worth it, or else, trust me, I would have done that. So he's going off the rails. I'm doing good. And I think I'm safe because I'm at my cottage, which is a gated community that has a password. I didn't think to change the password because I didn't think he'd be crazy enough to show up. There's also a long process involved with like the home office and everything to change a password. Then I have to talk to my parents about it because they have to do it. And then I have to explain to them that my ex-boyfriend is actually just a lunatic. So I left it. I thought it was kosher. And then this one Saturday night, they were having fireworks on the beach at my cottage. So I get with my friends, we get a picnic blanket, we pack a cooler, we go set up on the beach, we're getting ready for the fireworks to start. So fireworks are going, we're all drunk, we're having a good time, and we're having a laugh. And I get a text message. Part 7. So we're at the beach, we're having a blast, the fireworks are going off, and I get this text, and I kind of just like look down because it's illuminating my phone. And it's a text from him, and it says, "Fireworks are lovely tonight, aren't they?" Guys, I go into full-on panic mode. It's pitch black on this beach. The only time you can see anything is when a firework goes off and then it lights up the sky a little bit and you can look around. So every firework, I'm like changing my angle, seeing like where he is, if he can see me, if he knows I'm here. Like obviously like the whole town was there, so he must have known. So my friend looks at me and she says that I went like white as a ghost, and she's like, "What?" And I show her my phone and she's instantly like, "We're getting the hell out of here." We pack our bags and we just bolt it. So now we know he's here. We can't go to the bar because there's only one bar in this small town. He knows where all my friends live. I brought him up for 2 years in a row. That's how he knew the password. My one friend's like, "Okay, we'll go to my house." He doesn't know that where I live. Part 8. 8? I think we're on 8. Yeah. So we're at my one friend's house that he doesn't know where she lives. We're safe there. We're having a fire, and I'm getting all these texts from him being like, "Where are you? I'm at the bar, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking that like he's gonna go like find my family. He's gonna stop at my friend's house. Like I'm thinking like every kind of like disastrous scenario right now. And this is where it gets to the point where I'm like, I need to say something because this is just getting so out of hand and like it's not fair to me anymore. So the next day I answer one of his calls and I'm just like, "Listen, this needs to fucking stop. I will go to the police if I need to. Like this is just absolutely ridiculous. Like you need to stop." He's like refusing, saying all this stuff. So the guy that I was kind of seeing, he's kind of like he's well known in the Canadian music industry, and I'd introduced them the year before because I was friends with this guy previously, and like I accidentally like name dropped him just to say I'm happy, I'm good, and he goes, "Oh, that's who you're with." Instantly, I realized my mistake, and I'm like, oh shit. Part 9, hopefully last. So I accidentally dropped this guy's name, and he starts being like, "Oh, you fucking idiot. Like, do you know how easily I can Google this guy and find out all this information on him and then go and talk to him about you?" And I really like this guy, and I'm like, the last thing I want is, like, my crazy ex-boyfriend be contacting him, finding out where he lives, like, so I'm panicking. Eventually, I'm like, I'm done with this, I'm going to the police. And he's like, "You wouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah." And I graciously remind him that all of my family are cops. And I'm like, I take one text to my brother and you're done. Turns out that was the key to shut him up the whole time that it took me months to think of. So the texts go from like 40 a day to like 18 a day, and then the calls go from like 12 a day to like 3 a day, until eventually he meets a new girl and leaves me alone. And I will say, this was like probably like 10 years ago, so everything is like fine with him now. It's like chill, we're not friends, but like whatever. But yeah, that's on toxic young relationships. And that's on cupcakes. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
So when you marry someone fucking shitty and they want to talk to other girls behind your back and call them hot and sexy and make plans, this is what you do to feel better, because the marriage is fucking over. So you just throw that bitch in the fucking ocean.